Over the summer, we performed an inventory of accessibility features and concerns for all interior and exterior campus spaces.
Our goal was to focus less on ADA compliance and more on universal design principles in order to guide plans to make Vanderbilt's campus more accessible for everyone.
Using a web form accessed on our iPads, we recorded the issues we found and their locations to create a database listing the locations, notes, and photo files associated with all items collected.
We identified accessible entrances for all buildings and noted where they were not clearly marked or visible, in addition to labeling if the door was power operated or manual.
In addition to checking for automatic buttons and doors, we checked the timing of these doors. Here at Wilson Hall is an example of improper timing.
We also checked that the buttons on these doors were fully functioning.
When a building offered an alternate accessible entrance, such as a lift, we measured the lift dimensions and noted if it required assistance from a building administrator to operate.
We measured the dimensions of every elevator in each building to ensure that they were large enough for a turning wheelchair, as well as checking that the door opening was wide enough. Additionally, we noted when elevator buttons lacked braille or raised text. If an elevator required outside assistance to operate, we made a note of it. The Peabody Library elevator cannot be used without the desk attendant's key. One elevator on the first floor of the Divinity Library opens up to a 20-pound door that must be opened to exit.
If a door wasn't automatic, we waited to see if it was below the required level of 5 pounds. This is important because it ensures that any door can be opened by anyone.
Additionally, we measured the heights of the braille and raised text on signs to ensure that they can be easily reached. We noticed that many signs were above the range of the required 48 to 60 inches.
We looked for doorknobs because some people have motor impairments that make it difficult to turn them.
For a water fountain to be accessible, it needs to have room underneath for a wheelchair and be easily operable. Some older water fountains do not meet these requirements, such as those in Mayborn.
Accessible seating was often located only in the back of lecture halls with no path to the front of the room. We made a note when this was the case.
We looked at several different areas in bathrooms, such as the size of the path from the stalls to the sink, heights of soap and towel dispensers, amount of space underneath the sink, and presence of a fire alarm. If a bathroom had an accessible stall, we ensured it had enough space for a turning wheelchair and checked for handrails. Restrooms without any accessible stall were recorded.
Around campus there are actually a surprising number of showers, and we went around documenting them and finding which ones were accessible and which ones were not.
Several paths around campus have stairs that are not easily circumvented. For those areas, we look for the accessible path that would take someone from the bottom to the top of the staircase without using the stairs. This path would sometimes take the person completely out of the way of the staircase, such as the accessible path for the staircase between Central and Divinity, which we measured to be 2,195 feet. Most staircases did not require such an extreme distance to avoid, but those that do would benefit from signage designating where to go to avoid the stairs.
Blue lights and emergency phones that were too high, located in the grass, or blocked by the curb were marked as inaccessible using the GPS units.
Crosswalks and intersections should provide audible warnings, detectable warnings, or a combination of the two that alert someone that they are about to enter traffic or that it is safe to cross. We checked crossings on campus and marked which intersections lacked them.
By scheduling several night walks, we checked lighting conditions on campus and identified lights that were out in areas where the darkness presented an accessibility concern.
Curb cuts are an important accessibility feature for people in wheelchairs. They allow wheelchairs to get on and off a curb without additional assistance. Using the GPS units, we documented the locations of all curb cuts.
Because there's no documented map of benches on campus, we uploaded the location of every bench we came across to the GIS.
This data will be used to prioritize the issues and determine our campus's needs for accessibility. In the future, it will also be used to create a map of accessible features and issues so all individuals can successfully navigate campus.